Yep, she cancelled. Can I say this? All the biggest Nigerian designers that you see that you want to use, she's not the one making your dress.
That's crazy. He didn't say anything personal in the moment. Just, will you marry me? Okay.
It was like, are we going to be the people that put money down and lose money? Because right, God bless your union. It was getting very personal now, and it's like, but you wasn't talking about God bless
when
your
you were
union
chasing the money.
when you were chasing the money.
Hey,
it was very.
Guys, and welcome to another episode of the Bride's Room. Today we have the amazing Saffie. Can I get a round of applause, please?
Hi guys.
Saffie, thank you so much for joining me today. I've been looking forward to this conversation for a very long time, so I'm glad I got you here, seated in the bride's room.
Thanks for having me.
No worries. Thanks. Nah, I've followed you for a long time on social media, and I'm really happy that
Well, we know each other before
I
that.
know, and it's crazy. Big Clash. Shout out to Big Clash. If you don't know, Saffie was what you were Kent.
I was
Northampton.
Yeah. Did you beat us all?
I don't know.
We came second in the finals.
Oh yeah, no, we came third. Yeah, that one had
Shout
a sore spot. Anyway,
Team Kent.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, we were Big Clash. We went to the finals together. It was a good experience. We're here today, and I thought it'd be really good to talk about wedding experience. We're gonna go through some dilemmas. So yeah, guys, today's gonna be a really good episode. And yeah, enjoy. I feel like it's one of them ones where like we've known each other for years, but we've never had an opportunity to kind of do something like this together,
or even a full conversation, like a proper one. I feel like we've not had like a.
It's crazy. I don't know why that happened, but it's like so much. There's so many similarities. Like we got engaged at the same time, pretty much.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so. 2020.
Oh yeah.
You got
lockdown.
Yeah, lockdown.
Yeah,
around the same time.
Yeah.
You had a baby girl.
Yeah.
And here we are. And then as well, just talking to you as well through the DMs as well. It's just been jokes, like listening to all the things that you went through during your wedding process. How was your wedding process? Before we get into it, because I've got a lot I want to talk about today, but I think it'll be good to talk about just some of the things, or just know like how was your experience? Because I think everyone kind of knows like how I felt during my experience, but I feel like it's a very much universal problem when speaking to other people. So like, how's it been for you?
I saw a video, before I even say how I felt, I saw a video recently and the person was saying, enjoy your process, enjoy planning. And it sounded so rosy, like, girl, bye. It's tough. It's hard. And I think for me, I don't know if you experienced this, because ours was COVID. It wasn't a COVID wedding per se, but it kind of was.
Yeah.
Because I got proposed to October 2020 and we're still in and out of lockdown. And then I had some viewings booked. By December, everything locked off. Only 6 people allowed up in weddings. Back to square one.
Yeah.
So it was like, are we going to be the people that put money down and lose money? Because I've seen a lot of people
and
in my time. A lot of people, as in, I even had a bride that I was meant to be making a dress for, and just before her wedding, lockdown. So she lost. So I'm like, do I want to be that babe? No, I've seen it happen already. Let me just prepare for a wedding that's not really
Yeah.
a big, like a small wedding, I should say.
Yeah.
So that was what we were going to do. We said, regardless of whatever happens with lockdown, we're going to get married, full stop. Because we're not going to let COVID define or dictate, you know, our marriage sort of thing.
Wow.
So we knew we was definitely going to get married within the year because our parents weren't going to actually have the whole, let's wait just because of lockdown.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
so 100% we was going to get married.
Okay.
It was, what kind of wedding was it going to be? But we had settled for registry because we'd seen a lot of cute people, you know, cute weddings where it was like little reception.
And these days, it is a vibe.
Nice little flowers, dinner,
the little
really
card.
intimate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. So we knew it was going to be intimate, but then tables turn April 2021 when Boris Johnson was like, we're going to open things up again in June. And I was like, should I not? I was in two minds, but my aunt and one of my friends was like, you don't want to regret not doing something. I was like, okay, maybe I should mark the date a bit more than just doing the small reception, which is what I was going to do. And then, so let's say May is when I was like, okay, cool, we're going to do something.
Yeah.
Wedding is August, September. So we're talking 5-6 months planning.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So the process that everyone talks about, I don't feel like I had the sort of normal, generic, you know, the type of process. I didn't have that process. It was literally crunch time. There's no time for anything. It's just crunch time. So for me, the whole process of even getting your bridesmaids together and having that cute dinner and saying, guys, you want to be my bridesmaid?
Well.
I was like, you know you're my bridesmaid.
Yeah, literally, I sent them postcards. I was like, girl.
Even the postcard. I didn't even do that.
I sent them postcards. I was like, when you, okay, cool, let's go.
I didn't even do that. I was like, your bridesmaids, your bridesmaid, and your bridesmaid.
That's it. Period. Wow.
Yeah. And I only had 3 bridesmaids for multiple reasons, but main one I would say was definitely COVID, because if I'm planning a wedding in 5 months, the more people, the more stressful it's going to be.
How did that even, how was that received? Because I know if I only had 3 bridesmaids, child.
But it depends on your friendship group, depends on how many friends you have. I feel like you have a lot of friends.
Yeah,
and true. I don't want to go down a conversation of friendship because that could be a big conversation.
You know what?
I feel like I feel the conversation of friendship is another story.
Yeah.
However, I do feel like I don't know. Some people, when it comes to weddings, they sort of value the numbers and the way it looks for vibe.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, I value relationship. I don't care about vibes.
Yeah.
Vibes is cool.
I can't lie.
And I can go to weddings and enjoy vibes. That's like, you know how...
For me, I'm the queen of vibes, so I can't even sit here and be like, yes, no.
No.
But I hear you.
I don't care
I
about
hear
vibes.
you because I had layers to mine as well. So for me, I had the registry where like we had like, I don't think we even had up to 20 people at our registry. And even that's a lot.
Yeah.
If we're talking like intimate call list, all of that.
Exactly.
And then we had the destination wedding where we only had 50 people from both families. So that once again, I guess those people would have been on our call list too from like friends. But then I still wanted the vibes.
Yeah.
Well. So for me, it was like, I really didn't want to miss out on that.
I get what you mean.
I do respect you for standing your ground on that. Because the part one could actually say maybe that's a bit of people pleasing on my side. But actually, no, it was enjoyment. It was enjoyment that led me to that decision, to be fair.
Just to clarify, I feel as though if it wasn't lockdown, I would have had more.
Do you think so?
No, I would have had more, but not 20.
It was still quite a reasonably...
No, 3 people is crazy.
Yeah, that's mad. That's mad.
If it wasn't lockdown, I definitely could have added, because I actually had a list from
but
prior.
How was that received?
I could have had 8 or so, maximum.
But
8
how
or
did the
7.
remaining 5 receive that though? Like, that's actually wild.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
But just to say, because I need to put out disclaimers, I don't want it to be like, oh, you didn't make the cut type of thing. It's really not that. For me, I think the main thing was, had the more people for a wedding that's going to be in a short frame of time, the more stressful it's going to be. Also, I'm getting people out of pocket. Like this, it comes with a cost.
Yeah.
It comes with a cost. Weddings are not cheap. It's not me that's going to pay for your MUA and pay for... Some people are generous enough to do all of this. I'm going to do my bit.
It's generous. I think they have budget.
They have budget for... Let's not go there.
I know.
Let's not go there.
I know. It's
Let's
tough.
not,
it's
tough. But I mean, I will do my part, but I think it's important for me not to drag everyone along because everyone's pockets are in different places. So in terms of how was it received, no one said anything to me to suggest that, you know, how comes. But then another thing back to friendships, I would say is that I'm not someone who belongs to a batch. So it's not, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I don't
like
belong somewhere to where it's like, oh, my girl group, it's like, oh, I picked some of you out and I didn't pick you out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I literally have my friends in like different friends. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like we have our own separate relationships.
Yeah.
They now know each other. If I'm doing functions, they've been able to become acquainted to each other. That type of stuff. But in terms of them being friends together, no.
Yeah.
So I don't think I had the issue of people feeling a type of way. Maybe one or two, but that's more like ones that I grew up with, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't think it necessarily has to be that you're part of a batch per se.
Yeah.
I think if people love you, they love you, right? Because at the end of the day, I would hope that most people that do get upset about not being picked, when you look at it deep down, it comes from a place of like love, and maybe they ranked you a bit more higher in their life than you did.
So why you ain't call me then? Do you see what I mean?
You know,
I hear what you're saying.
We go for it, but yeah, I hear you.
No, it's true, but like I said, no one like said anything per se. Also, I literally went from having no wedding to having a wedding. Also, another thing is, if you notice, most of the time, you kind of match the numbers with your husband's side and your friends, so they can sort of be paired up.
Yeah.
And together, we were okay with that number because if he was to up his numbers, he had 3 also. It's like, are you gonna force?
Yeah, now start begging people.
So it's like in terms of it being organic and it's not like everyone else wasn't invited to other parts.
Yeah,
but in terms of it just be, especially because it's meant to be small.
Yeah,
it made sense.
Yeah. How many people? If you don't mind me asking, how many people did you have at your wedding in the end?
So we had 200, not including after party, but on average 200.
Okay.
So when I was doing the sort of booking the venue, etc., the conversations I was having with the owners, etc., was you have to maintain COVID rules regardless, even though by the time
you actually got married in what year was that?
2021.
Okay.
However, it was September, so lockdown was done.
Okay.
But because I had booked it during lockdown, they still needed me to do things with the COVID rules. So my venue capacity was 400, but they were like, try and stick within 200, so the tables were not so squashed together.
You had restrictions.
I wouldn't say so on the day. I wouldn't say I had restrictions, but as I was planning, I had to keep that in mind just in case, because everything was so up and down. September going back to winter, usually the rates go up again. And they want to be changing things. So the safer option then for me to invite 400 people and then be told, well, you're not allowed. Then I have to start retracting invitations.
True.
The safer options is to plan as though we're in a semi sort of COVID situation, which I was okay with.
Yeah.
Obviously, as the time got closer, it was clear that, COVID's done.
Yeah.
But at that point, I'm not.
You're holding your breath, literally.
I'm not gonna add more to the budget because food alone. Let's not.
How was that? Because I've heard so many people always complain about like the food. I have no complaints from mine personally. But I've heard people like say they had issues with food and expectations, all of that. How was that? Did you manage it yourself, first of all? Did you do all of your planning yourself?
I did all the planning. So I didn't have what they called, wedding planner. I had a coordinator on the day. But not during the process. During the process, we did it ourselves, all the emails, the back and forths, and the group chats. But I don't know, maybe it's my nature or my profession. It's just, first of all, I sort of enjoy it, number one, but I feel like I'm kind of good at sort of organising and keeping it quite snappy. With catering, I think I told you in the DMs that my caterer cancelled.
No, you didn't.
Girl.
You told me about the decorator. Okay. And that's the one that I want to get. I feel every time there's glimpses where I feel like I'm over it, then I have flashbacks and I'm like, nope, not over it today. Yeah. Obviously, I didn't.
When was your wedding?
Mine was last April.
Okay, I feel like 2021 is like
it's a while away. Yeah. So I've got I'm a year like
so we're coming up to 2 years. So now I'm like,
you're over it.
And I think because you're having these type of conversations, it's going to be triggering. Me, it's like, I don't want to hear about weddings. Even after my wedding and I was invited to other weddings, I was like, ew.
Really? So
I just didn't want to go. I don't want to
do weddings.
I just didn't want to. Weddings just made me itch.
Really?
Yeah. After all of that, it was like, I felt free. I was like, no.
I hear you. I do hear you.
I don't
mind going to weddings, but I think it's definitely a case of like when a girl gets proposed to, it's like, oh, that's lovely, but sis, good luck to you.
Yeah.
You're about to go through it, because not like even the financial aspect of it. It's just sometimes just the emotional, all of that.
Yeah.
But then I guess if you're able to plan a wedding during lockdown, semi-lockdown.
Yeah.
Then
no, it was definitely lockdown.
Then you're
definitely lockdown. Even down to my trad, I couldn't book a hall bearing in mind I started planning in May. My child was in August. So
and you had no hall to...
I can't book a hall because all the halls were saying until lockdown is done, then they're not going to book it out. You know, if you're not, you know, the wedding venues are different from the sort of actual halls.
Yeah.
I couldn't book a hall until everything was open.
Sugar.
So he shifted it from June to July. So I couldn't book the hall till July for a wedding in August.
And do you have to send out invitations to people?
Yeah, basically. So it was literally a month.
I'm not gonna lie, I did have some of those problems, but I think it was just the fact that we did it in 2022 that made it a little bit better. A little bit better. Because we still had a lockdown the December before. Do you remember when Omicron? Was it Omicron? Yeah, Omicron came out. And I just thought, you know what it is at this point. Like everything is done. What do you want me to do? Lord, what do I do at this point?
You
know what I mean?
Your thing, though. You had
like, wait, what do I do? So yeah, I completely feel you and like all the pain points and stuff. But let's get back to the caterer. Your caterer cancelled on you, sorry.
Yeah, she did.
How?
So it was a African buffet, you know, the usual. My mum swore up and down that this woman's amazing.
Oh, you left it to mummy.
Do you know? No, I didn't leave it to her per se, but her recommendations.
Okay.
Do you know what's crazy? The decorator was her recommendation, and that ended up going left. The food was her recommendation. That ended up going left. And the thing is, she's had great experiences with these people, but somehow
they flopped.
Yeah. So with the catering, she was like, everything was good. Then she turned around and sent a voice note to my mum saying she's having two minds about being in the country because it looks like lockdown is very up and down, COVID is very up and down. So
what does that even mean?
It was very nonchalant, very... Anyway.
No, what does that actually mean though?
I know. Long story short, she said she's going to travel and she's not going to be around.
Oh.
So I'm literally like 2 months away. My wedding was literally first weekend of September. So I did everything in 1 week. So I had the trad, the court, and the white wedding all in space of 7 days.
Okay, you try. I mean, I did 10 days, but still, that's still mad.
Yeah, literally. So it was like the trad Saturday, Wednesday court, next Saturday white wedding. Yeah, so everything was in 1 week.
And on top of that, you have the whole restriction, COVID, everything hanging over your head. Oh God, yeah.
So when she cancelled, I was like, what are we going to do at this point? Because we can't just find someone
She cancelled.
She cancelled. She says she can't make it. She's going to go to Africa and she said, to enjoy the sun because COVID is COVIDing in the UK. So she just...
Saffie, don't kill me.
No, she left. She was like, yeah, I'm not doing this.
I'm busting out.
I'm not doing this.
Hold tight, you lot.
Yeah, basically.
Congratulations, but...
She said bye. Goodbye.
Girl, see you later.
So,
oh my God.
I was like, what?
What does that even mean?
You said what?
How did you handle that? You must... sorry.
I wasn't stressed.
I would have felt like maybe I'm dreaming.
No, I feel like I deal with stress really well. I don't know. I think when I reflect on a lot of things I've been through, I'm like, a lot of things, I'm like, okay, what's next? What are we doing?
Yeah. You have to find a solution.
Yeah,
in that
what's
moment.
next? Yeah. So what's the point in moping? So what did I do? The venue had already recommended a caterer. This is the part where you're probably gonna go, oh my God, but wait.
Oh God.
The venue, most of these venues are owned by Asians, right?
Yeah.
Mine was in a marquee, so it was owned
owned
by Asians, and the caterers and the decorators linked to them. They're all from one company.
Okay.
I was really close to him during the process of the wedding. He would guide me.
What marquee was this? Chigwell?
No, it was Clay's.
Oh, okay.
Clay's marquee. That's also in around there.
In the Essex.
It's in Essex.
Okay.
Yeah. So he had always said to me, you need to book us. And I was like, I got my caterers already. But he kept on saying to me, not in I wouldn't say it was I wasn't offended by what he was saying because what he was saying was facts. He was like, you Africans, you tend to always have things in different places. So if you're going to order food, you'd have the food here. You have to order tablecloth from someone else.
Yeah.
You have to order cutlery from someone else.
Yeah.
You have to order charger plates from someone else. Yeah. Whereas we just do it all in one go. We've got, warehouses where we do this kind of thing.
Yeah,
He's like, so he wasn't knocking us per se, but he was saying it's going to be much easier to come to us sort of thing.
Of course.
Yeah. So he persuaded me and I was like, no, it's fine. I'm sorted. So when all else failed, I went back to him.
Well.
Yeah, I went back to him. I literally was like, listen, my caterer just cancelled on me. The wedding is in less than 10 weeks, maybe like 9 weeks.
Oh my God.
He was like, come to the office right now. today.
Oh, he's
like
a good
today.
one. He's a good
No,
egg.
he was like, come today.
You're lucky you even got a response on the same day.
I'm telling you, he's
lucky
my mate.
you.
He's my mate.
Lucky you.
Literally, I went to his office and he literally put a plan together, put the menu together, did like pictures. It was very professional.
Oh wow.
Showed me the industrial kitchen where everything's made.
Yeah.
Obviously this is the part that most people are going to be like, because it was Asian food, but it was nice.
Really?
I can't lie, it was nice. I had good feedback.
What kind of food was it like?
So I got to choose.
Okay.
So it came with the canapé, you know, the welcome drinks and the welcome snacks.
Got so many questions, Saffie. I'm so sorry.
Go on.
First of all, when he said he can only offer the Asian cuisine, how was that how did you find that decision?
I didn't feel no way.
Is it?
It's either there's no food or we have this.
Like,
how many weeks do I have left to the wedding?
It's true. If you're pushed to the corner, it's like, am I going to just starve my guests?
Exactly.
And
again,
enough.
prior to that, he persuaded me so much. He was like, Africans have booked me. Trust me. We don't just do hardcore Asian food. We do things that are sort of borderline, sort of thing. So I was like, cool. I was already sold because what am I going to do? And he's been so loyal throughout that short process.
Yeah.
And it was very professional. So it's like, okay, do you know what? I'm just going to go. And he showed me, I could choose from the menu.
Okay.
So even like the canapé, it was like spring rolls. That's generic.
Oh, okay. Do
you know what I mean? Spring rolls, samosas.
Okay.
Little chicken bites. Do you know what I mean? And crazy, welcome drinks. Nothing too, you know, out of the ordinary. And then with the 3-course meal, it was a roast chicken option with something else, a chicken or lamb curry option, and a chicken something and a lamb option. Yeah. And it's like, who doesn't eat roast chicken? Do you get what I mean? So even if you don't like curry, you can have roast chicken.
Yeah.
Then the dessert was also one type of cake. So it wasn't too bad. Also,
you're brave though.
No.
You couldn't even get like no auntie, nothing?
No, because my vision was always that I did not want people to get up to get food.
Okay, that's where.
Yeah,
okay.
So for me, I wanted everyone to be seated because the whole queue situation and getting up, table 1, and people are talking about table 2.
I know.
I didn't call your table.
I love that. You know what? A part of me does love.
I didn't call your table.
And they're still getting up anyway.
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
I am people. I will still get up anyway. If I'm hungry, I'm hungry.
You see?
Yeah, sorry, man.
Yeah,
sorry,
no.
I'm that wedding guest.
Yeah, and then especially where it's like during the speeches, like I was very tunnel vision about how I needed to be. Yeah. And how I needed my wedding to be was more so not, how do I describe it? I didn't have a lot of this must happen, that must happen.
Yeah.
But it was based on a lot of the negative things I've seen at other weddings. I'm like, this must not happen.
Yeah.
And this must not
happen. But you're
happen.
lucky you had that experience though, because most people don't. Like,
yeah.
I think most people's first wedding is their own wedding in this generation, because I feel like there was a massive period where there was just no weddings.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the last time I went to a wedding before my own, I was probably like 15. And even that wedding it was one of them like them church.
I'm always at weddings.
Really? Oh, you outside. Me, I don't really know that. I don't really know that many people that,
you know, sometimes you are privileged to be +1.
Fair enough. Is your +1 in there?
I'm not a clubbing type of person.
Okay.
So
yeah, no,
the wedding is a vibe.
Yeah, you know. I know, I hear you. You know, that is the motive. The wedding is the motive.
It's like my friend's friend, and I've been put on a +1, and I've got an invite.
Yeah,
but a +1.
Yeah. No one's. Oh my god, I had an experience actually recently where actually I was a +1. I was a +1 for my friend.
With your chest.
I was a +1 for my friend who was a +1.
Oh no.
Was our friend a +1 or was she not a +1? That you were +1. You were the +1. Oh, you were invited. Oh, so okay. Anyway, so long story short, yeah. Oh, you were invited. Okay. Well, I was a +1, yeah, and my friend allegedly,
right?
She was invited.
Allegedly. You telling me you didn't get in?
Telling you, yeah.
Wow.
I got to obviously like we had planned it for months, and obviously it's not a thing where like I didn't know the couple, by the way. Mm-hmm. I knew of the couple, sorry.
Right.
So we don't know each other personally, but I feel like everyone knows everyone, and it was a trad, bear in mind as well. So it wasn't a white wedding. I would never just like rock up to someone's white wedding. Unless I know them, and then maybe I just assumed they forgot to invite me. So here I am.
Sometimes it's just numbers. It's not personal.
Yeah, no, of course. And I completely get that as someone that's definitely gone through the process. But yeah, anyway, I went to a wedding recently, and I, assumed that because me and the bride, we were gassing each other through the DMs and stuff, and I was like, oh girl,
it's not enough.
Yeah.
That's not enough.
Well, I found out.
Wait.
God.
Wait, did you have to turn around?
Whoa, thank God for pretty privilege. I will say that. But like, I got to the door, me and my friend, you know, I looked good as well. I ordered a nice outfit. I looked immaculate. Ooh, I look good. And, you know, just had the baby as well. So, you know, I was just outside, excited to just be anywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, got to the door now and security was like, oh, so, yeah, let's get our names. My friend's name was on the guest list. So there was a collective of us. So some of us were still on our way. Some of us were inside. Some of us, me and one of my friends were together. Anyway, her name was on the guest list. And so my whole group of friends are there, but I'm just a plus one for one of the other girls.
Yeah.
Cool. He stamped my other friend. He's like, yep, cool, you can go in.
That's a rave.
That part. So this is where now I was like, oh, stamps. Not the stamps, child. Listen, he stamped her in. Literally stamped. Okay, your name's crossed off the guest list. I'm like, oh, okay.
I respect it. I respect it.
It's giving serious, you know? Like,
I respect it.
Y'all really mean it. You know, usually we say no plus ones, strictly invitation only. But this one was strictly invitation.
Yeah, they meant it.
Anyway, so he's just like, oh yeah, what's your name? And I'm like, yeah, so Aisha, blah, blah, blah. He's like, sorry, what did you say your name was? Your name? Like Aisha, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, sorry, darling, your name isn't on the literally was giving rain. He was like, sorry, could you just stand to the side?
My chest.
Like, wow. I know, literally.
My chest.
And I live outside London, bear in mind as well. So I have to get inside. Eventually I did get inside. It was a whole process. But I was like, wow, people are really on it. No, people, it was. And blessed, it was even pastors were getting locked out of this wedding as well, you know. They were so on it with the, I was seeing like uncles and aunties with their gele and their not getting in.
But I'm here for it though.
It was so sad though.
No, sorry.
No, but I feel like with trads, yeah.
No, sorry.
Really?
No.
You know what? I hear it, but I don't hear it. I hired
security.
Well. No, but I feel like we all had security. I hired security as well, and I was very much like...
But was your security like on job?
It wasn't giving people... I wasn't giving people stamps. Like, I think it was just more so I was just threatening people that if you come, you'll be humiliated.
No, mine wasn't a threat.
You really meant it?
Yeah.
We had close protection.
We had close protection. Yeah, sorry. No. We had... No, we actually did. We actually did have VIP, like actual security guard like next to our shoulder. But in... But in terms of like someone managing the numbers in the building, we didn't care too much for that personally.
I had to, because going back to catering, I'm paying for 200.
But I feel
like 3-course meal. I don't need embarrassment.
Okay, 3-course meal, I hear it. But if it's buffet,
if it's buffet, that's different.
God, at the end of the day. But anyway, I'm not gonna get onto that. But I was just like, wow, people they really mean it with managing the numbers. No, I hear it. I don't blame them. I completely hear it. But yeah, it was just rough now because aunties and uncles were before. Yeah, and I think the reason why I had that mentality is like I've grown up around our parents who literally like auntie will go with my mum will go with auntie. That it's not really that deep.
Well, my mum's not like that. My mum's a bit like me.
Is it?
So she needs to, like, if she's not personally invited, she's gonna respect herself.
Yeah.
So seeing that from my mum, I feel like I'm sort of similar in that way.
But it might be a culture.
No, I think it's just the people
is it?
Think. Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, wow, stamp it. This is what we're doing now. This is what is. But I hear it because the prices that we're paying at the same time, it's a lot. It's a lot. I think if it was back in the day, where like you can sneak in like a little cooler of jollof or a little something, then that's fine. You know, it is what it is if you're coming not empty-handed. But in this day and age where people are literally spending grands on grands on grands, I hear it. But yeah, I think for me, it was a bit of a shock. I was like, wow, this is what the economy is. I've never seen it before. I can't lie. I've never.
No, listen.
And I've been outside. I'm not going to lie. I've been outside to plenty of events. Right. Just not young people weddings. But yeah. But yeah, let's move on to the next topic. A little birdie told me, you obviously being a little birdie.
Me.
That you were having issues with your decorator.
Ciao.
How was that?
Do you know what? I feel like so far everything sounds negative. It wasn't horrible. Do you get it? It wasn't horrible. It's just little bits. Like things don't always go to plan.
Yeah.
But overall, it still was okay.
No,
I would definitely say the decorator. Definitely. Well, like I said, my mum recommended her. And
it's like everything.
And the pictures that she presented
really
was what I presented back to her. Because what I didn't want to do is send you something that is not within your capacity to do.
Okay.
So I went off of what she already has supposedly done.
Yeah.
Sent that back to her. I was like, this is what we want. What we want the colours to be like light blue, baby blue type of thing. Also, this is a separate note, but I didn't have any like gelés or fabric or anything for the wedding.
No, Aisha, your husband's Nigerian, right?
He is, but we didn't have that. In the white wedding, it was strictly black tie.
Okay.
And ladies wear sort of something within the blue range. Just because I just like,
organize it. And you're the bride anyway. So
it just looks nice. And my eyes not be shaking. You know? So so that was the vibe. And I was like, can you match these colors, white and with a touch of blue?
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, she can do this, she can do that. She charged us about £4,000, which I know I could have got better with the 4K. Yeah. £4,000. Bearing in mind, it's only for 200 people.
You need to send me pictures because what I want to do is actually show the work.
I will
insert a picture, right?
Insert picture or little video or whatever. Yeah, I will do that. Yeah. So it started off well.
Yeah.
But before she left the venue, apparently, because I wasn't there at this point, I was taking pictures.
Oh, so she actually came to the venue to decorate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's
on
good.
The day. It was fine, but before she left, the flowers were already falling off. First of all, the stand was too small. Like the stage was not secure. Nothing was secure, right? So I ended up being delayed in terms of coming out because the coordinator was like, I don't want you to see what's happening. And so imagine, the flowers are quite big as well.
What kind of flowers did you have? What was it like?
I guess just imagine roses, like white roses.
Oh, like actual
on the backdrop.
Artificial flower. Okay.
Yeah, on the backdrop.
Okay, like the ones that you get like the feature. What do they call it? Feature wall.
Basically, basically where the backdrop, where we sit. So we're meant to be on stage. Everything is falling down bit by bit. So it's like if I sit there, it could fall on my head. Yeah. So we then had to extend. Bearing in mind, we were very big on timing because I've been to enough weddings where you run out of time.
And
by the
time
everything is done, we've got an hour left to party, or if that. Yeah. I'm like, no, we're gonna dance the night away to the point where I was tired.
Yeah.
I was tired. I was like, guys, I'm ready. Like I'm good. Like I've enjoyed. Yeah, I've enjoyed. That's what I wanted. So timing was very important to where there was only 6 speeches, and everyone had 2-minute speeches. Like you're not allowed to exceed 2 minutes. That's how serious we were because I don't like this excessive speeches by 10 million people and no one's listening.
Yeah, no, I hate.
Do you see what I mean? It's like, I just want to, this is the blessing that I,
been a good girl.
When we agreeing, there was like, what? No. 3 people on each side, meaningful, short, snappy, quick, cheers, cling, cling, let's move on. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was the vibe. So the timing was strict. Like how we done it as well. We got the church 10 minutes drive away from the venue. So everything is like, once you've left the church, you only got 10 minutes to get to the venue. So you're coming straight with your canopies and your drinks. Do you see what I mean? So now you're delaying my time because I can't enter because things are falling off. And the guests are just like, obviously I'm not there, so I can't see how the guests look, but it's embarrassing. So apparently they called her back. She had to come and she still couldn't fix the problem. Apparently she was crying. I don't know.
Crying?
Apparently this has never happened, X, Y, and Z. But from what my friends and other people had examined, she'd used sticky tied tape, which is not going to hold flowers. So she's like, you're just very ill prepared here. Like you're not using the right equipment.
So do you think it was a case where like,
when I said she wasn't
prepared. Do you think she agreed to do a job? Like, do you think her eyes were just a bit big and she was just looking at the money rather than...
Do I think her eyes were big? No, because I took the picture off your page. You said it's your work.
But
you see what I mean?
A lot of people lie about that.
That's my point.
A lot of people lie. Even wedding dressmakers. I had that issue as well with my dressmaker. But anyway, different story for a different day. Yeah, anyway,
yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, I've taken your work. So I've made it easier. Everything I did in my wedding process was to make life easier because I've only got 5 months to execute. Yeah. So everything was, about simplicity and ease. So my thing is, what have you done here? Why are you... Eventually, long story short, the coordinator had to create a table on the dance floor so that we didn't have to sit over the falling flowers.
That's so sad. So the coordinator, shout out to your coordinator though.
Yeah.
Coordinator turned decorator. Okay,
so they put a cloth on the table and they put the flowers in front.
We like that.
So we had somewhere to sit. But long story short, we took her to court.
Oh.
Yeah, we took her to court.
Okay.
We took her to court because £4,000. 4K.
For flowers to be dropping.
For the flower. It's not just the flowers.
And as well, you only had like a guest amount of like what? 200. So it's not like you're asking her to do like a massive...
the stage, like it's the stage had like a gold lining around the bottom.
Oh,
even that was falling off. Even that was falling off. And it was like, this is highly embarrassing. Also, there's going to be professional pictures. So if we look back forever, we're always going to see that at some point, it was a full stage.
And it's going to trigger you.
Another point, it's triggering every time I see it.
I feel like white weddings do that though. I feel like there's so much pressure as a bride.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we've been pumped. Like, I think everyone just dreams about it. Well, not dream. If marriage is something that you want, it's something that you dream about. And then it's like you finally get there. And then I think the underwhelmingness that you experience, hey, so underwhelming. I feel like it's so disheartening every time something
Currently
happens.
speaking, she's paying monthly. So.
Oh, okay. Praise God. How much, if you don't mind me asking?
Do you know what? When we went to court, it fell through because she somehow didn't have any money in her account.
Conveniently.
Conveniently didn't have any money in her account. But when we checked,
she's doing up lifestyle.
You were still.
Oh,
that's it. That's it.
These vendors.
When we checked, you have to do I Spy. When we checked, she was still doing lifestyle. So she just came to an agreement, which I'm not involved in, is between her and my husband. But we definitely had to go there because she was chasing the money as well. She was the only vendor that was like, hello, where's my payment?
And that's the thing. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that, like, I think I will probably talk about this on every episode, but I can't stand incompetence.
Yeah.
And I don't even mind if you're incompetent and you're lovely and you're trying and whatever, that's fine. But I think it's if you're so incompetent, but then you're demanding the money and you're so about the money and like there's no experience, there's no anything to make me feel like a bride,
Oh no, it got really bad to where when that whole process happened, in fact, she didn't want to speak to us. After the wedding, because she was embarrassed. She actually sent a voice note saying, I need a few days, I need a few moments. I was like,
she traumatized herself.
She's traumatized. not me as the bride. She said
she traumatized herself.
I'm traumatized.
Okay.
I can't speak right now. This is not
what I mean.
It was a long voice note. It was like, God bless your union. It was getting very personal now. And it's like, but you wasn't talking about God bless your union. When you were chasing the money, it was very much like boom, 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 boom. Now,
if no payment, well, no decor.
Now I don't want to talk. I can't speak right now. Give me some time. This is a lot for me. What about me?
Me, that was my wedding. You get to, and
me?
I think that's the thing. Like these vendors, they get to do it again.
Even down to the whole, oh wait, I can't talk about it now. My child's in hospital. As in sending pictures of the child in hospital. Or it was becoming too much to where it was like, do you know what? We have to go down the legal pathway. Ideally, we wouldn't have done that, but we had to. Because when you take someone to court, you have to invest in that. So we're losing out on money for taking you to court anyway.
And was she an auntie?
Yeah, I mean, based on the Instagram page, you don't really know someone's age, but she definitely was.
Yeah, because a lot of these aunties, what I realized, or like, I don't say aunties, but older generation, older generation vendors. A lot of them, especially in the decor field, they're usually middlemen anyway. They're usually middlemen. They usually go to the Asians or whoever owns the warehouse.
She did it herself.
So maybe they flopped her and then she ended up flopping you and having to just finesse it herself.
I'll never know. I will never know.
God knows.
But that was not ideal at all.
Yeah. So what was your favorite? Okay, what was your favorite? Yeah, what was your favorite part of like the whole process? Like when you finally got there, you got through all the different hurdles. When the day finally came, despite the decor and the food and everything, what was actually your favorite part of the day? Well, I guess my question first of all is, did you actually enjoy your day?
I did.
That's good.
I think I did.
That's good.
I did enjoy it, especially more as the day was going along. I don't know what it is, but I woke up very emotional. But it wasn't the emotion that, some brides, they're getting their makeup done like, I can't believe I'm getting married. Yeah. I didn't have that. I didn't have that. I actually cried at the proposal and not at the wedding.
Oh,
which
really?
I thought that.
That actually, to be fair, that happened to me. I cried at my proposal and I cried at...
Did you cry at the wedding?
No, I only cried at my registry.
Oh, that's
cute.
Yeah,
I cried at my registry, but
maybe because it was more intimate.
Yeah, because it was the intimacy. No. But outside, I was just in shock the whole time.
Yeah, no, I didn't, because I actually worked all the way through. I took a day off the day.
You worked on your wedding day?
No. I worked up until. I didn't take any time off.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I was literally, the only time off I had was a day before the wedding.
Oh, so
So I was in the work mode the whole time.
Wow.
Yeah, so for me, what would I say? Definitely the church. That was kind of emotional.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but for us, because my husband's into music and stuff like that, so our
Don't tell me he made a song for you.
No.
Oh my God, I would have been like, oh my God, that is
when
so
I say
cute.
into music, I'm not.
No, I'm not saying
no, it's not a problem.
It's not a problem.
No, but it was still not. Do you know when I say music, I don't mean like rapping and doing all that. I mean music in the sense of actual. He plays the drums, like instruments. Do you get what I mean? We were very keen on having good quality music at the church. So the church service wasn't like the normal, hymns and stuff like that. It was singers, not singers.
Oh, I love that.
Singers, like we had the best of singers. So it was
nice.
literally like a sort of like worship, and I wanted it to be like worship to the point where I wouldn't have even minded if the pastor did altar call. Like who wants to give their life to Christ? Like it's my wedding day, but like God is important. Jesus,
let the spirit be flowing.
Let the spirit move. I don't mind the altar call right now.
That.
So yeah, I would definitely say that part because that was. That was actually the part
that's making me so emotional to think about it right now
union.
as well.
Yeah,
that's so lovely to hear.
Part. And the next part I'd say I loved the fact that it was done. That's really bad. But I liked
I hear you.
the feeling
There's
of
something that's just like getting into bed
knowing
like,
that wow, it's done.
Praise God.
We've done it. We're married.
God, yeah.
Let's go. Yeah. I liked that part. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, I love that.
My outfits, that's all.
Oh, that's and I did see it. I saw that you told me you made one.
No, that was from my trad. I didn't make any of the white wedding ones.
Okay. I was about to say, right? Okay, you really did your thing. Okay.
Ooh, outfits.
Oh, okay. Are we out of dilemma?
Yeah, let's do dilemma.
Okay,
yeah, because listen.
Why is she even holding the mic? Like, listen.
The vendor. The stress.
Oh, yeah, you told me. Ahead. But you know what? Oh, man. We're going to have to do a part 2. I feel like people are going to... let us know. Like, comment, subscribe, and comment below. Let us know if you want a part 2. I feel like we're going to give you a part 2 anyway. But, yeah. Okay, cool. So, we're going to do some dilemmas.
Right.
I've got a few. All right, cool. Let's do dilemma number 1. Cool. So, hi, Aisha. I am looking for some advice on how to handle disappointment in my proposal. I'd love some honest opinions on whether my expectations are too high. My now fiancé did not talk to me about marriage or engagement rings at all before proposing. We own a house together and have been together for 10 years. So it wasn't absolutely out of nowhere, but I still felt blindsided. He proposed to me on top of a mountain where we were hiking alone. So overall, A+ on the location choice. My issues/disappointment are that, number one, as stated above, I was surprised that I was almost blindsided. Number 2, I had no input on the ring. He also used a generic box that said the name of the jeweler store on it. He said that
H. Samuel.
Sorry, because if it was Tiffany's, would she complain? Anyway, we'll come back. Let me re-say. Let me re-say this. So my issues/disappointment are that, number 1, as stated above, I was so surprised that I was almost blindsided. Number 2, I had no input on the ring. He also used a generic box that said the name of the jeweler store on it. He said we can get a different ring, but it's not returnable at this point. I feel awkward/bad about completely ditching this ring for a different one. Third point is that he didn't say anything personal in the moment, just, will you marry me? Okay. Number 4, he didn't tell any of our family or friends, so I had to call people out of the blue, including my own parents, to tell them that I was now engaged. No.
That's
number 5. Number 5, the last point. He didn't have anything planned beyond the proposal itself. We proceeded to eat our lunch that we packed for the hike and went down the rest of the day. And dinner was just the snacks that we had the night before. I'm excited to get married, but I just overall feel a bit disappointed in the proposal. As we were hiking down, I was expecting maybe a dinner reservation somewhere for him to pull out some champagne or something. It just felt like low effort and anticlimactic. I'm not sure if my expectations are too high from TV/social media. Can I please get honest feedback?
Do you want to go first?
No, you go first. Go.
Right. There's quite a few things.
Is it?
I feel like I'm triggered by, not triggered personally, but I get her. I get her vim for each point. But I land with saying that maybe he's just not that kind of person. Because she asked the question. She was like, do I have high expectations? So what conversations have you been having with him?
Yeah.
Like,
it could be a lack of communication.
Did you not communicate? Because with me, even though I knew we were going to get married, of course, because, you know, I don't know if she's African. I don't know what nationality you are. So it's difficult. But within African culture, you cannot just propose to someone's child
without asking.
You have to ask permission.
I think most, even British people,
not on the TV.
Ask the parents.
Not what I see on TV.
Yeah. Well, I know, but
all
that's
these
TV.
marriage shows.
They'll be like, will you marry me in the middle of the park?
I just get married. Oh, congratulations. Mom, look at my ring. I'm just like, where did you get it? Yeah, no.
Don't kill me.
You just don't know what the cultural expectations are.
Yeah,
but for me, knowing that you're along that pathway, for me, knowing that I was, I'm going to be sending you rings. Like, I think 100%. Maybe there was a lack of communication.
100. I think for me, I even got to a point in my relationship personally where I was kind of like, so when we get married, like when are you proposing? Because yeah. But I think we were together for so long. Sorry, we were together for so long. Yeah, I even the word boyfriend was starting to irritate me. Like people be like, "Oh, how's your boy?"
Fiance. She wanted the upgrade quickly. She wanted the upgrade
quickly. And praise God, obviously I'm here now. But I completely hear it. I completely hear all of her points. It's kind of like you've waited for so long. She's been together. I can speak because 10 years. 10 years. What the hell? After 10 years.
But what?
And all you can do is say, "Will you marry me?"
But what is he like during birthdays? These are good indicators of what the person is like. Yeah. I'm not that person that's gonna just be like, "Oh no, throw me in the bin." Let's be for real. We're married.
It's true.
Is marriage bin? Are we gonna throw it in the bin?
So to answer her question, are her expectations high of him? Because he took her to a very nice location. You know, he got down on one knee. I'm assuming. Okay, cool.
Didn't give her an answer, but sis,
he proposed. Be happy.
I feel sorry. You know what? If she tells him, it might look ungrateful. Well. It might look ungrateful. You know how guys are.
But
no, but not in a negative way. No, but you don't want to literally have all these points and share it to the person because you can literally put a downer on things. So it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
I think she just needs to be happy. I think maybe just use that energy to then take control over the wedding planning process.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Then make herself happy. But
you're not gonna drop out now. So
he must love you. But I hear it. I hear the disappointment. But maybe just accept that is reality and that is what your proposal looks like. Anyway, all right, cool. Next dilemma. So this is about a bad vendor. So on the day, without warning, my cousin's photographer sent someone else to do the photos. He double booked himself and didn't want to refund her. As it turned out, the replacement was barely a trainee and had very little idea of what he was doing. Even though he talked a big game about how talented he was, in all the excitement of the wedding, my cousin and her groom just decided to go with it. After the wedding, it took a few months for the photographer to send any of the photos, despite lots of chasing. When he did send them, there were less than 100 photos covering the ceremony, dinner, evening party, and the post photos too. And only about 5 of them were any good. The rest were out of focus, blurred, and heads were cut off people. My cousin was devastated. Her husband threatened to take him to court for breach of contract or something. And after a lot of arguing, he refunded them and dropped it. Luckily, they managed to put together a photo album from other people's pictures, but it's still a very sore spot many years later. So there is no real question from this, but I guess what would you do if you were in that situation? Did you like the pictures, by the way?
Yeah, they were nice. I used the same person who did my engagement photos.
So it's like we built a rapport. Those were really nice.
Do you see what I mean? Yeah. So what can they do? They can't do anything. Court would have been. I would have taken them to court.
You love a court.
My husband's a lawyer, so.
So you're
banging go there. We're finna go there.
Sprinkle. I love that.
But no, it's like what they did was what the most they can do.
But vendors are. I think there was a period. So I think this is why we're currently in this economy of vendors charging crazy prices. Because I remember there was a period before I got married where vendors were sending out so they would have the household name. So let's say the bride's room, but Aisha wasn't the one attending. It'll be like their assistant.
Yeah, but that's what happens with dress. It happens with dress vendors. That's what happened to me.
Crazy though.
Can I say this? All the biggest Nigerian designers that you see that you want to use, she's not the one making your dress.
That's crazy.
She's not. So just expect that it might not be what you're better off going to a beginner designer because they don't have a team. But once they're big enough to have 50k followers, they're going to be booked. And when they're booked, they just don't have the capacity to do it on their own. So just know that you're probably not getting the person you think you're getting.
Don't you think that's great?
That's just how it goes.
Do you think that they just agreed to some degree?
I mean, but that's how you run a business, though.
I guess so, yeah.
Because as you get bigger, you have to scale up. So as a person, as somebody switched on, just know you might want to avoid, because you don't really know who you're getting.
I think that's definitely something to take into consideration. I guess we're gonna have to wrap it up. But this was a fun conversation. I love this conversation. There's so much. I feel like there definitely has to be a part 2.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you so much for joining me today, Saffie. I'm gonna leave all of your details here below. What if you want to drop your ats and stuff
over here. So Instagram Lovefromsaf, TikTok Lovefromsaf, and that's all I've got actually. I don't have TikTok. I don't have TikTok.
You have TikTok?
No, I have TikTok. Sorry, I don't have Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough. Yeah, so Lovefromsaf on all platforms.
Oh, okay. Thank you. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning into another episode of The Bride's Room. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, so outro. Okay, so guys, stay tuned for the next few episodes. We're going to have so much to talk about. There's so much content coming away. And I know I've been a bad girl. I haven't been consistent with this thing. But we're going to get more consistent. We're going to do bigger and better. Okay? So with that being said, bye. And until another episode, see you later. Oh, that was rubbish. Subscribe. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Notification, all of that. Guys, support your girl. You know we don't have that many platforms, so please support me, okay? Bye. Notification. All right, cool. Saffie, thank you so much.